Jackson State finally found their pass rush against Southern. Will that translate in their big time matchup against Texas State? Let's talk about it after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, Jackson State, JSU, the Tigers, Coach TC Taylor's team, they finally were able to find a pass rush against Southern, their rival Southern. They were able to get home to the quarterback and make some things happen. 7 sacks in the game, 10 tackles for loss, and holding Southern to just 14 points in the game. They scored once in the first quarter, didn't score again to the very end of the game in the fourth quarter. But the biggest thing is that they were able to find that pass rush. You know, something that has honestly been a staple for JSU over the last couple of years was the fact that their ability to get to the quarterback. Obviously, 2 years ago, you had James Houston leading one of the top pass rushers in the entire FCS, gets drafted. Now he's balling out doing the same thing for the Detroit Lions. Last year, you had a collection of guys. Niles Gaddy, different guys that were able, Antonio Doyle, Niles Gaddy, different guys, kind of a, rotating cast of guys that were really able to get in there and make some things happen, lead them to one of the top premier pass rushing teams in the entire country once again. This year, not so much. This year, they had gotten off to more of a slow start. They were putting up a lot of 3-man fronts at the beginning of the year, both against South Carolina State and against FAMU, and it really devastated them against FAMU. And so against Southern, you didn't see as many of those 3-man fronts, and you saw guys were able to get home. You saw guys were able to make plays. You saw guys that were able to do things that, quite frankly, we hadn't seen them do this season. Like I said, I want to show you. Let me go ahead and just go over to the box score that was provided to me by Jackson State football, by the way, on their website. I know there was a big struggle about getting the stats from the Southern game. You know, it was a little janky a little bit, apparently. But Jackson State football website had the stats, and they've been on here for a while. Like I said, if you just look at sacks, 7 total sacks, 10 tackles for loss. That's big. That's big because hopefully it gets you into a mojo. Hopefully it gets you into something that we can look forward to. Hopefully that means you are grasping and understanding Coach Bradley's defense even more going into a big time matchup against Texas State, going into a matchup against an FBS team who has already pulled off a big time upset on their own this year with their win over when they beat Baylor. They beat Baylor to start the season. And so that was huge to see that. And then it was good to see a plethora of guys get in on the action, whether it was, the 2 sacks by Philip Webb. Philip Webb, a LSU transfer. Philip Webb, a guy a lot of people had a ton of expectations coming into the season, really hadn't made his presence felt. And now he comes in and gets 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Okay, now I know where 39. Now I have to game plan or realize where 39 is, because 39 can wreak havoc. 39 was giving Harold Blood some problems. 39, Philip Webb was making things happen. Jeremiah Williams, number 99. He is still he was a guy that people once again also circled coming into the season. And he's done his job. South Carolina State, Jeremiah Williams had a big game. FAMU, nobody really had a big game. They kind of tightened up in the second half, only giving up not giving up any points in the second half. But Jeremiah Williams is a key cog in what JSU wants to do moving forward. Him and Devontae Davis, both the defensive tackles, had great games against Southern. They were wrecking stuff for Southern. Harold Blood didn't have his best showing, but Southern couldn't get anything going offensively because of the play of Jeremiah Williams and Devontae Davis. And when you add the 2 sacks from Philip Webb, now you've got a lean, mean fighting machine. You got the big boys up front making things happen, along with True Thompson, another defensive tackle who had a sack in the game. And then Tyus Martin. So the D tackles were making things happen. The defensive line were making things happen for JSU against Southern. True Thompson, Tyus Williams, Tyus Martin, rather, Jeremiah Williams, and Phillip Webb. And to be able to get those sacks from your front guys, from your front four, rotating in, making things happen, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need that this week because Texas State is coming into this game with a massive offensive line. Texas State is coming into this game, honestly, probably off a disappointing loss to San Antonio, UT San Antonio. And so they're looking to bounce back and pounce on JSU. They want to make an example out of JSU. The only way that you're going to be able to find yourself in a competitive game and with a chance to actually win down there in San Marcos is if you're able to get pressure on their quarterback, TJ Finley, from your defensive line. If your defensive line, now it's a tall task. It's not like it's an easy task because this is the front of five, the starting offensive line for Texas State. These are some big old boys. I mean, these are some big old dudes that have been in college for a long time. You'd start from left to right. The left tackle, 6'5", 320. The left guard, 6'6", 320. The center is 6'6". You don't even never see 6'6" centers. You never see centers that tall, 6'6", 335. The right guard, 6'7", 350. And the right tackle, 6'4", 330. You're talking about an offensive line whose average height is around 6'5" and average weight is hovering, pushing 330. That's the average of all three of these guys. That's a tall task. But to find your mojo on your defensive front, to find your mojo on your defensive line right before this game is a big deal because you're going to need them to create some type of pressure against TJ Finley, the quarterback there at Texas State. TJ Finley isn't the best quarterback. I'm going to just be honest. He isn't the best quarterback. And so, therefore, if you're able to get home, if you're able to make him uncomfortable, if you're able to make some things happen, you'll give yourself a chance down there in San Marcos in Texas against Texas State. Now, you need better play from Jason Brown. That's just, I mean, it is what it is. You're going to need better play from your quarterback. Your running backs are running hard. Your wide receivers are making plays. You're going to need better play from your quarterback, but you're also going, and it's good that you were finally able to wake up the beast that is your pass rush, and that's going to bode well for you the rest of the season. The fact that they were able to find their mojo against Southern, coming into this big game against a huge, huge, huge offensive line, and then hopefully your performance, whether win, lose, or draw, your performance propels you. As long as it's a good performance, it'll propel you into the rest of the SWAC season. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Jackson State football, their defensive line finally finding their mojo, finally was able to get home with 7 sacks against Southern and 10 tackles for loss. Will they be able to keep some of that going, some of that momentum going against Texas State? My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time. Peace.